They feel what is inaccessible to others. They cannot be deceived by the external. They read between the words, feel lies at the level of breathing, and have a premonition of events when nothing has happened yet. They are called the bearers of the sixth sense. Nostradamus claimed that these zodiac signs are not just intuitive, they have a special tuning to the energy flows of the universe. Today you will find out who these signs are, whose inner compass detects truth and danger, truth and deception, why they cannot lie, why people turn to them for advice, and how they sense what others do not even notice. If you're interested in deep esoteric knowledge, not superficial phrases, but the real essence, subscribe to the channel. Secrets are revealed here that cannot be found in ordinary horoscopes. And be sure to write in the comments, do you have such abilities? Or maybe you know a person who senses everything in advance. In this video, you will find out which zodiac signs have a real sixth sense and why they were mentioned by Nostradamus himself. The first sign is Taurus. Nostradamus believed that among all the earth signs, it is Taurus that has a deep connection with the invisible flows of the world. His sixth sense is not loud, not provocative, not theatrical. It is internal, reliable, like himself. Taurus does not guess, but knows. He does not fantasize, but feels on the edge of instinct and reason. His intuition is manifested not in impulsive decisions, but in a stable feeling of yes or no, without rational explanation. He can calmly refuse a profitable deal, a meeting, an offer that looks perfect, simply because he internally felt, not mine. And a little time passes. Circumstances confirm his rightness. Taurus's sixth sense works when pragmatic silence is turned on. He can sit silently, listen to everyone without expressing an opinion. But when he does speak, his words become the most accurate. He feels the weak points in people and situations. He sees cracks that no one else notices. He doesn't need to collect facts. His body, his internal security system, has already given a signal. And if Taurus stubbornly stands his ground, it means he feels the earth vibrating under his feet. And he's not wrong. His intuition is especially acute at critical moments. When the situation is unstable, when everyone is running or arguing, Taurus remains calm. It is in this silence that he makes the best decision. His sixth sense is connected with the energy of space. He can feel that he shouldn't enter a house, shouldn't start a conversation, shouldn't get involved with a certain person. It's as if he hears dull waves of anxiety long before they become loud. Another unique feature is that Taurus feels what is harmful and what is beneficial. He may not have an education in a particular field, but he can accurately determine where a product, business, or person is viable and where they are doomed. He can read the prospects not with his mind, but with his gut. His sixth sense does not require proof. It just exists. And most often, when he places a bet, he wins. He also intuitively knows who can be trusted. Even if a person is universally admired, Taurus can sullenly step aside. He does not need incriminating evidence. He senses falsehood, self-interest, aggression, and he also subtly senses sincerity, warmth, and purity of intentions. That is why people reach out to him for advice. He does not give answers immediately, but when he says, "Hold on to this person," or "Stay away," it is worth listening. His internal compass is tuned to the truth. The difficulty is that Taurus does not like to talk about his sixth sense. He acts silently. He simply takes the right step, makes the right decision, avoids the wrong people. His sensitivity is not emotional, it is physical. He can feel anxiety just standing in line or heavy energy in the room and leave without explaining, because there is no need to explain. He already understood. Nostradamus pointed out that Taurus is the sign that can sense the fluctuations of fate before anyone else. And there is no mystery in this. There is a precise sensitivity to the rhythm of the world. The sixth sense of Taurus does not require words. It speaks through actions, silence, departure, presence. When he is near, it is safe. When he leaves, it means a storm is approaching. And this is not a coincidence, but a built-in skill to see the future through the physical perception of the present. The second sign is Cancer. The representative of this sign has a rare ability to grasp what defies logic. His sixth sense is not a metaphor, but a precise instrument that works in the most difficult situations. Nostradamus pointed out that Cancers have a built-in system of early premonition at the body level, which is capable of warning about danger, benefit, hidden motives, and forgery long before events. This sign does not look for evidence, it just knows, and almost always turns out to be right. Cancers are especially sensitive to the energy of space. It is enough for them to enter a room to feel what happened here before. They instantly recognize falsehood in the voice, a catch in words, and tension in silence. People often do not understand why Cancer silently refuses a deal, leaves a company, or suddenly refuses to cooperate. But after a while it becomes clear. He felt that there was danger or failure nearby. It is thanks to this innate intuition that representatives of this sign extremely rarely make serious mistakes in choosing. They do not follow other people's advice, do not need third-party guarantees. Their decisions are born inside, as if on an internal radar that works without failures. Cancers can distinguish chance from a sign, spontaneity from a hint, and this is what makes them almost invulnerable in the games of fate. Nostradamus emphasized that Cancers have a special defense mechanism when a threat is approaching. They can suddenly fall ill so as not to go to a place where an accident will happen. They can lose contact with a person the day before his betrayal. Their body responds to subtle fluctuations in the field around them, and therefore every symptom, every anxiety should be perceived as a signal. Cancer's intuition is not a flash. It is a constant, uniform current. It is always on, even when he sleeps. He dreams in which he receives answers, sees events, feels solutions. Very often, it is Cancer who senses in advance what will soon happen in the family, at work, in the state. He is not a prophet, not a clairvoyant, not a magician. He is the bearer of an ancient sensitivity that only a few have left. Nostradamus believed that Cancer is capable of not only foreseeing, but also changing the course of events if it relies on its inner feelings. And if a representative of this sign stops ignoring the inner voice, he can avoid troubles, open the way to money, love, well-being, and start making decisions that lead only to growth. The main thing is not to replace intuition with fear, not to confuse anxiety with foreboding, not to put reason above sensation. Cancers win when they trust themselves. The third sign is Scorpio. If there is an absolute master of the sixth sense among the signs of the zodiac, then it is Scorpio. His internal scanner works without fail. He feels a lie in the breath, knows the truth before the words, and foresees events before they happen. Nostradamus noted that Scorpios have a special structure of energy perception. They are literally sewn into the information field, which allows them to detect shifts, threats, chances, and secret flows of power in advance. Scorpio does not look for answers, he just knows them. He can be silent, but inside he has long since made a conclusion. In business, love, negotiation, investments, he never acts blindly. He acts in advance, as if he already saw what will happen next. This ability makes him an incredibly strong player in any life conditions. Even if everything collapses, Scorpio knows where the exit is. Even if everyone believes a person, he will be the first to sense that a threat is hiding behind a smile. Representatives of this sign have a particularly strong intuition in situations where they need to make difficult decisions. When others begin to weigh, ponder, rush about, Scorpio acts. And later it turns out that his choice was the only correct one. He may not explain why he did it this way, because he has no explanation. There is inner knowledge, deep, almost biological, built in from birth. Nostradamus pointed out that Scorpio has the ability to feel not only his own future, but also someone else's. He easily grasps with whom he will have a successful partnership, who is destined to disappear from life, who will bring pain, and who, strength. This sensitivity allows Scorpios to avoid disappointments, because they know how to leave before the blow comes. They know how to close doors before someone knocks on them. They know how not to wait until things get bad. They leave in advance. Scorpio's intuition is especially acute in moments of strong emotions. Anger, passion, delight, all this launches his hypersensitivity to the maximum. It is then that he is able to feel even the train of thought of others, to foresee unexpected turns, to see the pattern of what is happening differently from others. His sixth sense is his armor, his weapon, and his path. It does not turn off, it does not give rest, but it also saves. When Scorpio listens to himself, he becomes dangerously precise. His decisions are sharpened to the millimeter. He can choose the moment when everyone loses and win. He can take what is impossible to take. He can see the path that no one sees. His sixth sense is not just developed, it controls reality. And this is his secret, undeniable power. The fourth sign is Aquarius. His sixth sense is not a figment of the imagination, not the result of observations, and not a logical conclusion. It is an accurate, instant reaction to what is happening in the energy field of others. He does not need confirmation. Aquarius simply knows. His internal radar works without failures, capturing the unobvious, hidden, veiled. And the more chaos there is around, the more accurate his perception. Aquarius can sense people. In 5 minutes of communication, he determines who is lying, who is afraid, who came with the intention of using. He does not draw conclusions based on facial expressions or tone. He feels the inner background of the interlocutor. He can be silent throughout the conversation, but understand everything. This ability is especially pronounced in situations where others are at a loss, negotiations, conflicts, decision-making under pressure. Aquarius knows exactly what step is needed to turn the outcome in the right direction. His sixth sense extends to events. He is able to sense when it is necessary to leave the route, change the city, refuse a meeting or a project. He will not explain why, simply because he knows now is the wrong moment. And after a while, everything is confirmed. His actions often seem impulsive to others, but they are always verified by an inner feeling, and this feeling is almost never wrong. Aquarius does not depend on external circumstances. He feels where space leads and moves in this direction first. He is able to read the future not in details, but in directions. He will not say what will happen in 3 days, but he will say exactly where the explosion will be, where growth will begin, and where the decline. He feels rhythms, waves, cycles. He perceives changes in society, trends, ideas especially clearly. He is an antenna tuned to the future, and this tuning allows him to be one step ahead, while others are still discussing the past. Those around him often feel an incomprehensible excitement next to him, as if Aquarius knows something that no one else knows. And it is true. He detects shifts in the field of events. His sixth sense is not connected with mysticism. It is a high degree of mental sensitivity. He can predict what an action will lead to even before it is committed. He can notice danger when it is only forming at the level of intention. He can determine who can be trusted and who will betray sooner or later. His internal navigator works especially clearly when it is necessary to make a quick decision. He does not panic, does not get distracted by emotions. He just acts. In a critical situation, it is Aquarius who remains cool, because he already feels what will happen next. And this makes him an incredibly accurate strategist. He may not look strong, but next to him it is calm, because he always feels where safety is. Aquarius's sixth sense strengthens with age. This is not just an innate gift. It is a skill that he hones over the years, learning to listen to himself, trust his first feelings, and not argue with his intuition. The less he depends on the opinions of others, the more clearly his ability to feel manifests itself. And in adulthood, he turns into a person who sees the course of events as if on a map. He does not need to explain what is happening. He already knows where everything is heading. Aquarius is a sign that can sense what has not yet been formed. He grasps the essence before the form appears, and this is his main strength. He is able to grasp at the level of sensation where the truth is and where is distracting noise. And if Aquarius refuses something, it means that he has sensed a lie at the very foundation. His sixth sense is a tool that guides him to the right decisions without a single mistake. And it is this hypersensitivity that makes him the one whom Nostradamus called the harbinger of a new time. The fifth sign is Leo. Leo's intuition is not always obvious, because he knows how to keep it under control. But his sixth sense is a powerful and precise tool that works in key situations. He feels when the moment for action comes, when to pause, and when to strike. His perception is not emotional or logical, it is strategic. He senses the power of the moment, its energetic saturation, and instantly determines, "This is my chance." He knows how to feel strength and weakness in others without listening to a single argument. Just a look, and he already knows who is in front of him. Leo recognizes falsehood instantly. He may not show that he understood something, but the recognition system then has already worked inside him. He knows who can be trusted and who is playing a role. This is not intuition in the usual sense. This is an innate sensory of power. He feels the flows of influence and senses where the energy is on the rise and where it is on the decline. Thanks to this, he almost never bets on losing. Leo's sixth sense is especially evident in social interactions. He knows in advance which conversation will lead to the desired result and which will lead to a conflict. He feels when silence will be more effective than words. He knows when to retreat in order to return later and take his own. His behavior may seem abrupt, but behind every decision there is a precise inner impulse. Now is the time, and he always chooses the right moment. Representatives of this sign are hypersensitive to the energy of others. They read the mood of the group, feel hidden intentions, catch what is not said. This makes them ideal for negotiations, leadership, strategy. They do not succumb to manipulation because they sense the manipulator even before the conversation begins. And their defense in this case is not resistance, but preemptive action. They act before the situation gets out of control. Leo clearly feels when the moment requires risk, and when silence. He can take a step forward when everyone is hesitating, and that is how he wins. His sixth sense is not about fear, but about strength. He knows when to attack and when to lie low. And even if he is outwardly calm, a clear picture has already formed inside him. What will happen? Who will behave how? Where there is a trap? And where is victory? His inner clarity is not the result of reflection. It is direct knowledge that comes with lightning speed. The peculiarity of Leo is that he knows how to listen to his inner voice even in the noise of external pressure. He does not argue with himself. He trusts his first reaction, and therefore he almost never makes mistakes in choosing partners, decisions, paths. His sixth sense is his personal strategic assistant, which never fails. He can bypass dozens of people, relying not on information, but on feeling. Leo's sixth sense is enhanced in moments of risk. The more acute the situation, the more accurate his internal navigation. He can sense the end when others are just beginning. His intuition is an instrument of power, survival, and expansion. He senses in advance who in his environment is a threat, who will pull him down, and who will become an ally. His foresight works not through logic, but through the sensation of the energy field. For this reason, Leo is one of those whom Nostradamus singled out as bearers of inner knowledge. He does not speak in riddles, he simply knows. And this knowledge comes in the moment, precisely, confidently, and unmistakably. The sixth sense makes him not just strong but unattainable. He does not fight for leadership. He senses the moment when everyone obeys themselves. And this is what sets Leo apart, as someone who knows, even before others begin to guess.